Hello, my karmically connected friend. There is a profound truth that we often confuse in this life: the vast distance between pain and suffering. Pain is the inevitable stumbling of the human condition. When you fall, your body hurts. When loss occurs, your heart aches. This is natural, but suffering is a choice. Suffering does not come from the outside world. It is born from the way our minds weave tragic stories around that pain. It comes from our fierce resistance and attachment to things that are inherently meant to change. We suffer not because life is cruel, but because we are trying to fight against the flow of reality. Today, I want to invite you to courageously face 5 harsh truths. At first glance, they may make your ego feel uncomfortable. But believe me, these naked truths are the strongest medicine to release you from the prison of disappointment. If you dare to accept them, you will find absolute freedom. Take a deep breath, and let us begin. Truth. 1. No one is responsible for your happiness. The first truth may make you feel lonely at first, but brings ultimate freedom later. No one in this world is responsible for making you happy. My dear friend, try to honestly look back at your old days. Have we often lived in the mindset of one who waits? We wait for a message to feel loved. We wait for an apology to feel peaceful. We wait for a partner to change their character so we can feel secure. We are like people sitting by a window, entrusting our joy and sorrow to the erratic sunny and rainy weather outside. But the harsh reality is, no one is coming to save you. Every person passing through your life, whether parents, spouses, or soulmates, is carrying their own boulders of suffering and anxiety. They are also struggling with their own internal battles. Placing the burden of your happiness on their shoulders is an injustice, and also an immense risk. When you hand the key to your emotions to someone else, you voluntarily turn yourself into a slave. If they smile, you are happy. If they are indifferent, you collapse. You allow their actions to dictate the fate of your day. That is the source of chronic disappointment. The Buddha taught us to return to take refuge in ourselves, the island of self. Happiness is not something someone brings and places in your hand. Happiness is an inside job. It is like personally lighting the lamp in your consciousness instead of waiting for siwatu from others. To engrave this truth, right now, place your hand on your heart. Feel the warm beat there, and whisper this declaration of sovereignty. My happiness lives right inside me. I am fully responsible for it. When you stop waiting for others to make you happy, you will begin to create that joy with your own hands, and that is the most sustainable joy. Truth 2. Life will not unfold according to your plan. The second truth is a splash of cold water on the ego that loves to control, yet it is absolutely necessary for awakening. Life will never unfold exactly 100% according to the plan you have drawn. My dear friend, we often impose rigid deadlines on ourselves, that we must be successful by 25, stable by 30, and every effort spent must be rewarded immediately. When reality deviates, like a passionate project being canceled, a relationship breaking, or an opportunity slipping away, we often collapse. But look deeply into that pain. We suffer not because of the event, but because of our attachment to a perfect script in our heads. The gap between what should be and what is where suffering resides. The Buddha taught that impermanence is the core nature of life. Life is like a wild river constantly changing its flow, winding through rapids rather than a straight canal built according to human will. That change is not personal, The universe does not change to punish you. It is simply operating according to its laws. Resisting that flow only leaves you exhausted and submerged. Acceptance here is not resignation or helplessness. Acceptance is the courage to acknowledge reality, to find a new, more suitable direction. To learn to let go of this control, I invite you to perform a breathing exercise for transformation right now. Visualize your expectations as a heavy rock on your shoulders. Inhale deeply, accepting reality as it is, even if it is messy or unfinished. Exhale gently, imagining you are placing that rock of expectation on the ground, letting go of your own rigidity. And whisper this mantra every time things don't go as planned. This too is part of the path. Sometimes the universe closes a door not to punish you, but to lead you in a better direction that you cannot see right now. Trust the flow. Truth. 3. How others treat you reflects their mind, not your value. The third truth is the strongest shield to protect your self-esteem from the toxic arrows of the outside world. The way others treat you is a reflection of their consciousness. It is absolutely not a measure of your value. My dear friend, we often have the habit of taking everything personally. When someone raises their voice, we think we did something wrong. When someone is cold, we blame ourselves for not being good enough. But look deeply into the nature of the human mind according to the Buddha's teachings. A person can only give what they are currently holding inside. If their heart is a storm of anger, they will vent that anger on anyone who passes by, including those they love most. If their mind is full of fear and insecurity, they will act with control and suspicion. Conversely, only someone carrying peace and love within can treat you with gentleness. Their actions are a mirror reflecting their own internal chaos, not a verdict on your character. They are victims of the very negative emotions dominating them. Understanding this, you will no longer feel hurt. Instead, you will give birth to compassion. You pity them because they are suffering. Next time you are subjected to a negative attitude, please do not take it into yourself. Stop, breathe deeply, and silently remind yourself of this mantra. This is their mind, not my value. When you separate these two things, you will stand firm like a mountain. No criticism or indifferent attitude can shake the peace within you anymore. Truth. 4. In the end, you will not be able to keep anything. The fourth truth is one that our ego always tries to deny, but is an immutable law of the universe. In the end, you will lose everything. Everything will eventually leave you, or you will leave it. My dear friend, the biggest reason our hearts break is that we stubbornly believe in the word forever. We want our loved ones to be with us for a lifetime. We want health to be eternal. We want fame to never fade. But this universe operates by the law of impermanence. Every meeting foretells a separation. Every birth carries within it the seeds of an ending. Impermanence only hurts us when we try to cling tightly to things that are naturally meant to drift away. But try looking at nature to see the beauty of this law. Watch a brilliant sunset. The sun dyes the sky red, breathtakingly beautiful. That beauty is precious precisely because it is fleeting. If a sunset lasted forever, would you still stop to watch it with all that vibration? Or would you pass by it with indifference? Impermanence does not come to steal your happiness. It comes to remind you to cherish what you have right now. Instead of living in the fear of loss, shift into a state of presence with gratitude. Change your mindset of ownership. You do not own your partner. You do not own your children. And you do not own this body. Everything is just on loan. You are only the person the universe trusts to care for and love them for a finite amount of time. Every time you look at your loved ones, silently remind yourself of this beautiful mantra. I do not own this. I only have the honor of cherishing it in the present moment. When you can let go of the idea of possession, fear will vanish, leaving only pure love and the deepest appreciation for life. Truth 5. Your mind creates the majority of your suffering. The fifth truth, one that may startle you but is the key to complete liberation, is the majority of the suffering you are enduring does not come from reality, but from the story your mind constructs. My dear friend, we often blame circumstances or others for making us sad. But look closely at the mechanism of consciousness. An event occurring only accounts for 10% of the problem. The remaining 90% is how you interpret it. The nature of events is neutral, but our mind is a master screenwriter specialized in writing tearful tragedies. Take a very common example to see this clearly. Suppose you send an important message to a friend, but 3 hours have passed without a reply, even though you see them active on social media. The truth here is simply, the message has not been replied to. Period. It is a harmless event. But your mind does not stop there. It begins to weave painful stories. It whispers to you that they must hate you, or asks what you did wrong, or tells you they are disrespectful. It is those interpretations that make your heart tighten, making you restless, anxious, and angry. You suffer not because of the other person's silence, but because of the abandonment story your mind just composed, or when your boss calls you into a meeting room. The event is just a meeting, but your mind has already painted a scenario of you being reprimanded, or even fired. You suffer and fear even before the event actually takes place. We spend our whole lives fighting ghosts in our heads. To escape this trap, you need to practice mindfulness, which is the skill of observing thoughts as one observes drifting clouds. Visualize your mind as a deep blue sky, and those interpretations and anxieties as just black clouds flying by. The sky is not the clouds. You are not your thoughts. You are the observer of their presence. Next time a negative script starts running in your head, stop immediately. Take a deep breath and tell yourself this liberating mantra. This is just a thought, not truth. When you learn to doubt your own negative stories, you will no longer be dragged away by them. You return the event to its simple nature, and then the psychological burden will automatically fall away, returning to you a clear and absolutely peaceful mind. My dear friend, we have just gone through 5 harsh truths of the human condition. They may make your heart ache a little, but remember that bitter medicine cures the disease. Accepting these truths is not for us to become pessimistic, but for us to stop our illusions and begin living a life that is authentic and strong. Truth may hurt you at first, but ultimately, it is the only thing with the power to set you free from suffering. If you are ready to continue the journey of nurturing wisdom and finding peace, hit the subscribe button so we can move forward together. Let us close with a profound reminder from the Buddha to carry with you that happiness does not depend on who you are or what you have. It depends solely on what you think. May you always be steady and serene before all fluctuations. Goodbye, and see you again.